Hey all you cool cats and kittens, it's me here. Hi, it's the Gym Medic, and this is the second in my series Clueless to Clinician. So if you're a med student, if you're a foundation doctor, if you're just starting a new job, this is the place for you really. What I want to speak about today is starting F1. Starting F1 is huge, it's so scary, and everyone is just nervous. For me, I stayed in the same environment, I stayed in Birmingham, so I had a little bit of knowledge of the area and I knew where I wanted to live, things like that. But obviously lots of people are relocating, so that's the first step into moving to your new job, getting your new house, finding people to live with. So let's start there. Couple of ways that you can find people to live with if you're nervous about going to a new area and you don't really know anyone. Speak to your rota coordinator or whoever's that you'll lead. There's inevitably either going to be a house, which lots of junior doctors will be living in, or there might be accommodation for you to live in the interim before you kind of meet people and then decide to move off the hospital site. Or alternatively, if you already know people, you can go down to the area, have a little summer trip out and see some places that you like. Obviously, things are slightly different this year, but this Sunday, there will be released some new information about how things are going to be done. So hopefully by the time you're coming to look for houses in July, fingers crossed there'll be some sort of virtual viewings that you'll be able to do with the estate agent so you can get somewhere set up. It's exciting. It is exciting. Before you start, one of the things that you have to do is so much paperwork. So much paperwork, honestly. And don't leave it to the last minute. I have to say, I'm much less lastminute.com than I was. Like, when I got the forms for F1, I was like, oh, yeah, it'll take me 2 minutes. I'll leave it. Actually, as it turned out, it didn't take me 2 minutes because you've got to have a couple of forms of identification. So that might be a passport, it might be a driving license, but also they'll ask you for something like a utility bill over the last 3 months. The other thing that you need to know is your national insurance number. So that little card that you get given when you're like, I think I must have been about 14 or 15 when I started working in a restaurant. Basically, that's what you need. You need that number. One of the things I would suggest is when you've started work is calling up HMRC and telling them about all the fees that you've had to pay, right? So this is GMC fee. Indemnity, you may have to pay for, that's about £20. If you know that you're going to be wearing uniform, you can tell them about wearing uniform. All these things, they add on to your tax-free allowance. You get an extra bit of tax-free money. As soon as you know you're going to be paying something, call up HMRC, or you can do it online as well. And we don't get given finance lessons at med school, do we? Remember, your first paycheck will come at the end of August. Obviously, it's helpful to have a little buffer so that you can pay your first month's rent, perhaps, a deposit for a house, any subscription fees, things like that. It's really tricky. If you've had a job, I know a couple of the FIY ones I was with, one of them is a phlebotomist. I know some other people that have worked as an HCA. So that's quite a good way of getting in a little bit of cash before you start work. For some of you, you may have the opportunity of taking up a paid role as an FIY one. So that's a great way to save a bit of money for that first month. The next thing I want to talk about is emergency tax. Oh boy. So that is taxed at a much higher level than you're usually meant to be taxed at. I knew someone that worked for 8 months, 9 months without realising that they'd been emergency taxed, right? And he was like, oh, is that what this code means? The codes. There are so many codes. HMRC can talk you through the code, tell you what code you're on, work out what code you should be on, and make your life a bit easier. So if you think that you're not being paid right, if you think that you're being paid less than your colleagues, speak to HMRC, right? Get it sorted, because obviously this guy like got a nice payback in Feb, March, which is fine, but he may have been short earlier on. So it's quite helpful to get that sorted early after the first month, because often this happens month 1 and you get your paycheck and you're like, no. I am no self-proclaimed money expert, I can tell you that. But these are all things that I had absolutely no idea about before I started work. And I just thought, gosh, if I'd have known about these. So there's a few of my top tips about starting work. In summary, obviously get your new starter forms done early. That's all the paperwork that they send you. It'll make your life much easier. As soon as you pay any expenses, such as your GMC BMA subscriptions, make sure you let HMRC know so that they can put it onto your tax allowance. Remember, you paid at the end of the first month, so you might need a little bit of a buffer before you start work to kind of help with those bills that may be incurred moving site, moving accommodation, moving city. So guys, work hard. If you've got another exam, good luck. and I'll see you on the other side of them. August is going to be an exciting time, and if you have got a few months off, enjoy them. If you love it, guys, head over to Instagram. I'm at the Gym Medic on Instagram. So guys, it would be amazing to have you there. Any questions, ping them in my DMs and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Happy day. What day is it? Does anyone know the day now? I don't know.